Bro, let's be honest for a second. Most guys out here are playing not to lose, instead of playing to win when it comes to women. They're afraid to set standards. They're afraid to walk away. They're so busy trying to please her that they forget the one thing that actually makes a woman obsessed. Respect. See, she doesn't fall for the guy who tries the hardest. She doesn't chase the man who bends and folds to make her happy. She becomes obsessed with the man who has the courage to show her what real strength feels like. A man who doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, and doesn't perform. Today, I'm not going to give you some surface level advice. I'm going to tell you exactly how to move, how to build a gravity that pulls her in and stays in her mind long after you're gone. Let's lock in, let's level up, let's start. Point 1. She's drawn to the man who doesn't flinch. Bro, let me tell you something real. A woman doesn't obsess over the guy who reacts to every little thing she does. She doesn't lose sleep over the dude who texts her back in 2 seconds, begging for her attention. She doesn't daydream about the guy who bends over backward just to stay in her life. You know who sticks in her head? The man who doesn't flinch. The man who doesn't get thrown off when she's cold for a day. The man who doesn't spiral just because she left him on red. He feels it, yeah, but he doesn't react to it. He stays calm, he stays focused, he makes it clear, I'm good with or without you. And bro, that kind of steady energy, it does something to her mind. It plants a seed of doubt in her chaos. It makes her question everything, because deep down, she knows she can't rattle you the way she could rattle every other dude. You don't create obsession by chasing. You create it by being unshakable. Point 2. Surface level guys get attention. Depth leaves a scar. Bro, any guy can get a little attention. Post a few gym pics, throw some slick texts, flash some fake confidence. Yeah, you might catch her eye for a minute. But you know what? That kind of dude is forgotten just as fast. You want to be the guy she can't erase from her mind no matter how hard she tries? Then you gotta bring something deeper. It's not about your clothes. It's not about your money. It's about your soul, man. It's about being a man who carries weight, emotional weight. The kind of man who can have a real conversation, look her in the eye, and say something that stirs her soul. Not just flatters her ego, because surface level guys are everywhere. They come and go, but a man who leaves an emotional fingerprint, he lingers. Weeks later, months later, even when she's with somebody else, your voice, your energy, the way you made her feel real, it still haunts her. You're not here to impress, you're here to impact. Point 3. She remembers the man who wasn't afraid to walk away. Bro, listen to me. A woman doesn't obsess over the guy who sticks around no matter how badly she treats him. She remembers the man who wasn't afraid to walk away. Most dudes, the second she pulls back, they start chasing harder, texting more, calling, begging for another shot. And every time they do that, they lose a little bit more of her respect. But the man who can feel the distance and still stand tall, the man who can say, if you don't see my value, that's cool, I'll keep it moving. He's the one she thinks about at night. Because he wasn't desperate. He didn't need her attention to feel like he mattered. And bro, women crave that energy deep down, even if they don't realize it in the moment. The man who's willing to walk away without looking back, he doesn't just leave her life. He leaves a hole in it that no other guy can fill. You're not supposed to be an option. You're supposed to be a loss she feels in her bones. Point 4. You don't build obsession by being available 24/7. Bro, let me be real with you. You kill attraction the moment you make yourself too easy to reach. If you're always one text away, if you're always waiting on her calls, if you drop everything the second she gives you a little attention, you're not showing her love. You're showing her that your time doesn't cost anything. And people don't value what comes easy. They value what feels rare. When she thinks about you, she should wonder, what's he doing right now? Why isn't he chasing me? Is he thinking about me, or is he too locked in on his grind? That tension, that uncertainty, it drives her crazy in the best way. You're not supposed to be an emotional vending machine she can hit up anytime she's bored. You're supposed to be an experience she has to earn access to. Because the truth is, bro, men who are too available get forgotten. Men who are selective become unforgettable. Point 5. Respect is built when you choose yourself first. Bro, if you take nothing else from this, take this. Respect is built the second you choose yourself over chasing someone else. Every time you put her above your peace, every time you let her disrespect slide, every time you bite your tongue just to keep her happy. You're training her to see you as less. You think you're being patient, you think you're being loving, but what she sees is a man who's willing to abandon himself just to keep a seat at her table. And deep down, that kills attraction faster than anything. You don't earn her love by lowering yourself. You earn her respect by showing her you won't even betray yourself to stay close. When you stand tall, when you say, nah, I'm not for everyone, and that's fine, you create a whole new gravity. Because now, she's not just seeing a guy who wants her, she's seeing a man who already values himself enough to walk if he's not respected. And bro, that kind of man, he doesn't have to chase anything. He gets chosen. Point 6. Silence is the loudest statement you'll ever make. Bro, sometimes the most powerful move you'll ever make is saying nothing at all. You don't need a long text explaining how she hurt you. You don't need to call her trying to prove your worth. You don't need to show up and put on some performance hoping she gets it. Your silence will say everything, because silence, real silence, makes people hear their own mistakes louder than any words ever could. It creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum, she's forced to sit with what she lost. It's not about playing games, bro. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that you don't have to explain anything. You're not seeking closure. You're not waiting on her to wake up. You're moving forward like a man who knows, if you can't recognize my value in my presence, you'll feel it in my absence. When you stop speaking for validation, when you let your absence do the talking, that's when you stop being just another guy she dated. You become the man she'll measure every other one against. Point 7. You win when you stop needing to win her. Bro, the biggest shift you'll ever make, the one that changes everything, is when you stop needing to win her at all. Not because you're bitter, not because you hate her, but because you realize you were the prize the whole time. When you live like that, when you start moving for you, not for her approval, you flip the whole script. You're not chasing a text anymore. You're not wondering if she'll come back. You're not even competing with other guys. You're competing with the man you were yesterday. You're stacking wins in silence. You're building a life so full, so rich, so powerful that anyone who couldn't see your worth simply disqualifies themselves. Because bro, when you realize you don't need her to feel whole, that's when you become the man she never truly gets over. You don't win women by chasing them. You win by choosing yourself so hard that they either rise to meet you or they watch you glow up from a distance they can never reach again.